89.5 FM, you're tuned into Los Mundos. This is the past, this is the future, this is the present, this is everything of Latin music. We got Nick T on the phone. Nick T, man, thank you so much for taking a minute to speak with us on Los Mundos. We've only known each other through the virtual world. We have yet to meet. However, you've been kind enough to link us up with some amazing, wicked music. For those listening right now, how would you describe your music?
Well, the best thing I can say, it's a multicultural music, just like where we live.
Right.
I try to take all my influences, which is the people around me, whether it's Latin, Asian, Australian, African, North American, South American, whatever you are. I just try to bring it together in one recipe, so maybe we can all get down together, I think.
No doubt. And that's what this show's always been about. We're always trying to, bridge the gap between all the different genres that's Latin America in general, basically. So why music? Why do you make music? What was the original inspiration for wanting to go out and make tracks?
The first thing for me is music is always communication. When I make music, I can talk to people even if I don't speak their language.
Right.
Music has this special language that translates words. It translates an emotion and a feeling, and that's a feeling that we all feel. And I just want to share my feelings with people, and I want them to share their feelings.
Wicked. And speaking of feelings, I mean, you got some banging tracks, man. From the stuff you sent me, amazing stuff, man. What's the process when you're going to create a track? Where do you start? What sort of sparks you to want to start making a tune?
Well, the first thing, of course, is music. That's what I do. I'm a sample-based producer, so my music is all sampled. So everything I sample has to exist. I can't sample air. Music is what inspires me, so the thing I do is to get to know people. Like I said, that's the main thing, getting to know people and their cultures and trying to bridge the gap between each other. Because in the end, we're all the same still. We all want peace, we all want love, we all want happiness. So how are you going to do that? Well, you got to have somebody say, let's do that first. So if I hear a record, I find that part of the record that just makes me jump, makes me feel good.
That break, that drop, yeah.
Once I feel that, then maybe I'll be like, now let me see what's going on. We live in a city. This might be a stereotype, and I apologize, but St. Clair, there's a lot of Latin people down on St. Clair.
That's true.
Right.
Jose lives on St. Clair.
What's up,
I mean, what's up?
And then right up the street, you got Eglinton.
Right.
So how are you going to bridge the gap? Well, maybe I'll put a song together.
Right.
Maybe they won't both agree on it, but they'll at least say, you know me. And I'll be like, well, I know a little bit.
Right.
Once we share each other's experiences, that's what makes it get bigger and better and more interesting.
No doubt.
Personality.
No doubt.
And music. Every culture I've ever seen. Every culture. It doesn't matter. If somebody tells me this style of music is not good, I'll be like, maybe the style of music in there that you listen to is not good. But that's personal choice.
Yeah.
Nobody can choose your personality, your personal choices, and you got to respect other people's choices in music.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm not the only one in this world.
That's what's up.
You can't disrespect something because you don't understand it. If you don't know about it, the best thing to do, when you don't know about what you're talking about, you should listen.
That's a good point. And that's an excellent point, too, because clearly you're a listener. I mean, I don't know if you're sampling from records or whatever, but it sounds to me like you got crates. When we listen to the tracks, we're just like, wow, all these influences, all these different things. Where are you coming from in terms of your collection and the kind of music that you're out there digging? What sort of things that got you going these days?
I like funky music for some strange reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's part of where we are. It's just like that funky sound. Hip-hop was started on funk music, and the rhythm hip-hop was started on went choom chat.
Yeah.
And if you know about that rhythm, then you know what it's about. There's more rhythms in this world. How are we going to bring each other together? By hate or by love?
Straight up. There's no other way to put it.
If you want to hate on people, nobody will get together, I promise you.
Absolutely. As you know, this show's all about positivity, and we're always showing love to people. That's why we asked you to, if you had time. It was hard to get you, man, but, we got you on the phone, and it was very cool of you to do that, and we do appreciate your time and respect that. Real quick, man, if folks want to know more about Nick T, where can they find out about you?
A lot of people have heard my name before. They call me Higher Level. They call me Mr. T. You can catch me on YouTube /Nick T Higha, Higha level. You can catch me on Facebook, Higher Level, or just go into Google and search Nick T or Higher Level, and I'll come up. That's what's up.
Well, you did bless us with a lovely track here that I'm just dying to drop right now. If you don't mind, I'd like to go to that right now. Why don't you go ahead and introduce what we're listening to right here?
Definitely. So, pretty much gave you 3 tracks in one. The first track, Screwface, Just Easy, on Mundos Radio.
Screwface, just easy.
Let your backbone fly.
Yes, you're listening to Nick T, Higher Level, Wicked Breaks. Nick, you still there on the phone, man? Nick, I just wanted to say real quick, man, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us right here on Dos Mundos, man. Beautiful track, beautiful music. Please keep sending it, and we'll keep playing it.
And I definitely will, and I always respect, first of all, college radio, but specifically tonight, Dos Mundos Radio for having me on. It's a really classy bunch of people, and they're always kind and respectful, and that's the main thing you want to deal with any DJ, kind and respectful. You don't want those other type of DJs.
Nick T, man, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a busy man, and blessing us with these exclusives. Please keep them coming.